morning, Unity of Tampa. Standing outside the door of love and mercy, you wonder if there's a place there for you. You know there's peace inside, but still you're searching for someone who understands the pain you've been through. Where the Father waits with open arms, He's calling out your name. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved to belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, come on in, come on in. You'll find a place of rest and illumination, where God within you helps you to light your way. You know the peace you need and the hurt you're feeling. He longs to hold you and to wipe your tears away. But the doors are locked, the lights are on. What are you waiting for? Come on in, welcome home. You are loved to belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, come on in. With this room enough in this home of love for someone just like you. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved to belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, welcome home. You are loved to belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, come on in. Yes, come on in. All right. Happy Sunday to you guys. Thank you. Thank you for singing it with us. Happy Sunday. Good morning. Piper's coming on up here. She's got something for the kids.
Good morning. Okay, it's nice to be back up here after last week. So, today we're going to be talking about the golden statue. All right. A small voice. There is a little voice in the depth of your mind. Do this, not that. You know the kind. It says what's good, it says what's bad. It's almost a mini version of lessons from mom and dad. Don't do drugs, stay safe at night. It almost seems nagging, but it's usually right. When you're put on the spot and your friends are around, you do what they say or you'll be put down. That little voice speaks loud and clear. Don't listen to them, don't give in to fear. Character is judged by your little voice. It helps you pick friends and make every choice. It is. I learn what I need to easily and quickly. I have a bright mind and I am a smart individual. Thank you.
Thank you, Piper. Sing the kids out. I am walking in the light, in the light, in the light. I am walking in the light of God. In the light, 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 in the light of God.
All right. Welcome. Welcome to Unity of Tampa. My name is Lewis Key, and I'm your platform assistant for the morning. Hi. And before we get started, I wanted to say my beautiful wife, Mary, is here today, back. We've spent, seems like the last month in Cleveland, Ohio, up there for surgery. She's doing very well, and I just wanted to say I really appreciate. I was posting on caringbridge.org the results of what was going on with the surgery, and a lot of you all responded and put comments on there, and we really appreciate that a lot. She finally got to read them when we got back home because obviously she couldn't see them while we were there. But we really appreciate all the love and prayers, and they really helped. So thank you for that. Okay, first of all, do we have any new visitors today? Here? No. All right. We get to keep the shirts for another week. All right. Okay, first, we'll just remind you all, obviously, all the announcements are in the Sunday Bulletin. For those of you watching on YouTube, they're on the email newsletter, on the website, and Facebook. And if you would please now silence your cell phones, those of you that are here, so we don't hear those go off. As far as the announcement, sleeping mats for the homeless, that's today after church. The crocheting, the plastic shopping bags for the homeless is going to be after the service in here or in here? In here. Congressional meeting. Looking forward to hearing what's going on here. That'll be Sunday, October 2nd, from 11:50 to 12:15, so just 20 minutes. So there's not a whole lot of news, or else we're going to be talking really fast when we're going through this. So, chance to reconnect. Okay, excellent. Well, we'll be here. Who let the dogs out? All right, we're going to have the dog walking starting back up again. Gail and Linda, get with them on this. This is the first one. It's going to be October 7th. And this is Friday, right? Yes, it's the first every Friday? Once a month. First Friday of the month. And that'll be October 7th at 10 a.m. at Al Lopez Park. So take your dogs and cats, giraffes, whatever you have, and start. And you don't have a pet. You don't have to have a pet. You could just walk and talk. But you need a mouth, and you need a voice, right? That's all you need. And legs. All right, membership class, Sunday, November 6th, from 12:15 to 2:15 for 2 hours. That will be for any of you that want to become a member, a voting member, to go to that, and also for people that just want to get updated on how you're supposed to be living your life. That'll be in there as well. So, Vision Team launch. I don't know if I'm supposed to say anything extra about this because it just says coming soon. So there's a Vision Team launch coming soon, just so you all know that. And the snap, it's coming soon. Now that could be in a week, it could be in a few months, but it's coming. So just beware. October. All right. And Snack Angels, thank all of you for bringing snacks and helping out. And please continue to volunteer and see Vivian for details about what to bring and what you need so we can kind of coordinate it. So we've got a lot for everyone. And then last but not least is the birthdays this week. Who has a birthday this week that wants to raise their hand and volunteer? Nobody. All right. Well, so we have watching on Facebook, we have Nancy's sister, Lisa, in Mexico. Happy birthday. Hers is the 26th. That'll be tomorrow. And Holly is the 29th. And Tanya, the 30th. Tanya, it's your 30th birthday? Man, that's great. And that's it. So let's sing. Oh, wait a minute. One more thing I'm supposed to say here. This Wednesday, I don't know if y'all have heard, but there's apparently some kind of storm or something that's heading this way. You know, we might create a problem for us at some point. And it's supposedly, if it comes here, it might be hitting around Wednesday or Thursday. So Wednesday night, the 6:30 gathering, Fellowship Hall. Right now it's still on, but you need to check. There won't be anybody calling you to let you know it's been canceled or anything. So if you're coming to that, you need to check the community page, and that's where it will be posted as to whether that's still on or not. So just be aware of that on Facebook. All right.
All right, let's sing these babies happy birthday, shall we? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, God loves you. Happy birthday to you. Thank you, Louis.
How are we? Yeah? Okay, how about a hand for Lewis?
Yeah.
So nice to have you both back. Really, it is. Thank you. It's great to see you, Mary. Yeah, you were in our prayers, and I just want to call attention. So right before the service started, my friend James from New York showed up here this morning and surprised me. So you remember, you all remember James did our Easter photos in 2021. So, yeah, our big event. So it's just such a nice surprise. I'm just so surprised. I was almost like yelling back there. All right, so I also want to say thank you, Michael, for being our greeter today. And Cindy, thank you for stepping in today as board angel on duty. Janice asked to swap with Cindy, and she stood right in. So thank you so much. Okay, we want to do our affirmation first, and then I have a couple of other things I want to maybe say today. We'll see. So let's do our affirmation. There's only one power and one presence in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. And our daily word today is harmony. And it says, harmony is the song of my life. Harmony is an integral part of music, adding layers of intricacy and depth. Without harmony and rhythm, a musical composition would be little more than a dissonant how do you say that? Cacophony? It's C-A-C, cacophony, thank you. So this is for you, I should have let you read it. With the resolution of each chord and the synchronization of every note, a symphony can touch my soul with peace. Similarly, my soul finds peace as I seek accord in my relationships and every interaction I have. From a place of love and tranquility, I bring compassion to every situation. With the give and take of compromise, I build understanding and trust. I approach every interaction with faith and the expectation of harmonious results. Harmonizing my mind and heart with the world around me, I welcome and do my part to create goodwill, meaning, and beauty. And from Romans 12, verse 16, live in harmony with one another, which kind of aligns with our message today about celebrating each other's light. So I'm looking forward to that. And I think I'll stop here and let you do the song, and then I'll be back.
Great. We're going to sing Thank You for This Day. Will you guys stand and sing it with us? I love a good musical word of the day. That's awesome. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful. Yeah, thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. My radiant, my radiant. this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. All right. Thanks, guys. And thank you.
All right. First of all, did you get your purple bracelet when you walked in? All right. So Bobby will make sure you get one. So the purple bracelet is for, remember last week and we were talking about being complaint-free for 21 days? Well, the idea of the bracelet, first of all, I just want to ask, how many people made it the whole week without complaining? Anybody? Who got to Wednesday? Nobody made it with me to Wednesday? Wow. One? Out loud. Okay, so the deal is I made it to Wednesday. So did you. You actually made it to Wednesday as well. You might have been the reason I didn't make it past Wednesday. I'm not positive. Now that I'm thinking about it. Am I complaining? Just stating the facts, no complaints. So the bracelet says complaint-free. And the idea is, if you weren't here last week, whenever you put it on one arm, and then the first time you complain, you switch it. The next time you complain, you switch it. And the idea is to leave it in place for 21 days and not switch it. And you don't even have to wear the rubber ones. Sometimes I just use the ones I'm wearing. It's just the consciousness of getting in your head that you have to be complaint-free for 21 days for it to work. So just keep starting over again with me. We'll get there. And the first one to get to 21 days, Margaret has a special gift for. She just doesn't know what it is yet. I'm working on it. Yeah. All right, so I want to show you a great video for our good news story today. It's a really great video. It fits with today's message, so we're going to share this now.
We are with Guitar Center Lessons. We are so excited to be partnering with Southwest Airlines to give you a free ukulele, gig bag, and a beginner class right here on this plane for the very first time in history. We will have...
Thank you all for joining us today. So we're going to be doing a ukulele lesson. Your first string, so string number 1, then we're going to go up, string 2, 3, and 4, okay? So today, just for the sake of convenience, everyone, we're going to play it in our right-handed fashion, meaning that the headstock is going to face towards the left-hand side. Another important note, on top of the head, we have these 4 pegs. Those are called our tuning pegs. Don't touch those. Okay? So that's how we keep our strings in tune. And we're going to place that on the 2nd fret. Okay, that's the 2nd space. Hello, aloha, how are you? I'm bringing you kisses from over the sea. Aloha, how are you? I'm bringing you kisses.
Hey, hi, I'm Ari. I'm an indie artist, and a lot of my music is ukulele based. That's what I love about us.
No, I'd never played a ukulele, and the lesson was fantastic. It looked a little difficult at first, and they kind of walked us through it, and it was fun. It really was a blast.
Yeah, a fun keepsake memory. an insane memory. I don't even know if it's real. It's so so wild. All right.
Thank you, Southwest.
Mahalo, Southwest. Right? Yeah, mahalo. Thank you. Thank you, Southwest and Guitar Center. That was amazing. Amazing.
Wasn't that great? So here's what I liked about that video. Everyone, if you've been flying recently, you know that is not what it's like on a plane. Typically, everybody's really anxious still. Nobody really wants to sit next to anybody. People are a little aggravated when they have to wear masks, and it gets a little cranky on there. So to see them having come up with a way to bring everybody together, people are singing with the people next to them and playing. People were reaching out and helping each other, but they were seeing each other's light. And that is something we're talking about today. So I just really liked this whole message. And with that said, I am going to turn it over to our wonderful band. And I believe, are we singing I Am So Blessed, correct? All right. Well, we are so blessed to have you guys.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Such beautiful words. And as you just let them repeat in your head for a moment, I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. And I invite you now to take a few really deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. Let your concerns for the pending storm, your worries about the day, anything that's on your mind, let it go. And just be present in this moment, allowing this meditation time to bring you to a place of centeredness. Listening to the words, taking in what's right, allowing your body and mind to be fully relaxed. Still breathing. Today, as I focus on celebrating the light of others, I choose to focus my thoughts on someone I love very much, a relative, a friend, maybe even a pet. I see their face in my mind's eye and feel their presence. And as I do, I notice how my heart feels whenever I think of them. I allow myself to feel whatever arises. If I feel warmth, tenderness, or even affection, I stay with these feelings and silently say, may you be free from suffering. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you find peace and joy. Breathing in and breathing out, I imagine a warm light coming from the center of my heart, carrying my love to my loved one, bringing them peace and joy. I rejoice in the thought of my loved one's happiness for a minute or more, reflecting on the fact that everyone on the planet has the fundamental desire to be happy and to be free of suffering. I allow that minute now to be my focus. My heart is full of compassion, and I feel warmth, tenderness, and caring. I radiate this feeling of compassion out to the world. I celebrate my humanity, by becoming a reflection of God in the world. And I recognize the reflection of God in others. The light of God shines brightly on my life, and on everyone around me. And as I gently bring myself back to this place and time, I am refreshed, relaxed, and at peace. Good morning, Logan. So I'd like to begin today with a quote from Brené Brown. I want you to take this in. Nothing that celebrates the humiliation or pain of another person builds lasting connection. Nothing. So if you're one of the people that took the 21-day challenge with me to be complaint-free, then you know that most of the complaints you're thinking about registering and communicating are about other people. They're also about ourselves. The need for us to find fault in ourselves and others is the major source of our need to complain. And what most people don't understand is that all of this is driven by our emotions, not what people are doing. It's our emotions that cause us to want to complain. And if we could get a handle on our emotions and understand where the problem lies, we probably wouldn't find a need to complain. So that's our goal today. Because in order for us to celebrate each other's light, we have to understand what's preventing us from seeing that light. So every Sunday we end our service with the prayer of protection. And the very first line of the prayer of protection says, "The light of God surrounds us." Think about that. The light of God surrounds us. Us. Not the light of God surrounds me. Not the light of God surrounds the people I like. The light of God surrounds us. And you know, I was reading something that the Dalai Lama said that actually isn't in my talk, but it reminds me, what I just said reminds me of that. He was saying that, you know, I'm a man of great faith, but I don't believe that all the people in the world who don't have faith should be without that same happiness and the right to enjoy and be received in life. So I want the whole world to experience good, not just the people of faith. Amid all of our daily activities, we continue to forget to celebrate each other's light. Jesus represented the light of God. He spent years preaching, teaching, and demonstrating the light of God, with the intent to get us to understand that if we didn't have a common purpose, we would be divided. The whole point was that we would have faith as our common bond. But it's more than that, that we would have that humanity, that piece of us that understands the light is always on within us. Just people don't always see our light because we might be having a bad day. He wanted us to understand God had to be the center. That light, that divine thinking had to be the center of everything. And he taught us to shine God's light on each other and to eliminate divide. When Paul wrote to the Corinthians, he said this, I urge you, brothers and sisters, in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, that all of you agree in what you say and that there be no divisions among you, but that you be united in the same mind and in the same purpose. But our emotions are constantly dividing us. In her book, Atlas of the Heart, Brené Brown talks about the list of emotions that trigger our need to find fault in ourselves and in others. First is comparison. Be like everyone and be better. Envy. Wanting something that another person has. Jealousy. She said when we fear losing a relationship or a valued part of a relationship that we already have, we act with jealousy. And the biggest one from my perspective is resentment. It's on the bottom of her list, but if it were up to me, I'd put it at the top. Because most of the people I talk to who are challenged in life are dealing with resentments. The feeling of frustration, judgment, anger, better than mentality. And she said, oftentimes when resentments build up, she said, I find myself thinking, what mean and critical thing am I rehearsing that I can say to this person to right the wrong? She talks about two terms that are useful to us, and many authors write about them, Schadenfreude and Freudenfreude. Both German, in case you didn't guess. Schadenfreude means that we get pleasure or joy from someone else suffering or from their misfortune. Now you might be thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, who would be like that? But I'm about to tell you how many of us are like that. Freudenfreude means the exact opposite, pleasure or joy derived from someone else's success. Now, Schadenfreude, from my perspective, all showed up during political issues. One group of people who are in favor of one leader wishing bad and celebrating all the bad that happens to the other group because of their leader, and then that group turning around and wanting bad for the people in the first group. There's no winning. Nobody's seeing anybody's light. Nobody's celebrating. And Brené Brown said she saw it in the pandemic. We all did. She said that during the pandemic, people struggled with feeling guilty over the Schadenfreude they felt, the joy they were experiencing when those who were against vaccinations were suffering or dying of COVID. She remembers asking herself, is this who I want to be? Someone who celebrates people getting sick or dying, regardless of the circumstance? But she was honest in saying she justified how she felt by the fact that people that were not vaccinated were risking her life. So she felt she was justified in what she was feeling, but then realized there's no justification for beliefs that don't have value, that aren't a part of our value system. Most of us, all of us, I'd like to believe, if asked, would never wish harm on another person intentionally. I'd like that to believe that. She offers a beautiful message I want to share about Freudenfreude, which is celebrating other people's joy. And she talks in the book about what she and her husband have taught their children. And I actually asked Piper to teach this today because I think it was worthy. She explains they've always told their children that good friends are not afraid of your light. They never blow out your flame, and you never blow out theirs. Even when it's really bright, and it makes you worry a little bit about your own flame, you never take pleasure in blowing out their light. When something good happens to you, those people celebrate your flame. When something good happens to them, you celebrate theirs. To illustrate this is what she teaches her children to do. To hold out their palms, flat and open, and to say this: if this is your flame and the wind picks up, good friends cup their hands around your flame to prevent it from going out. And you do the same for them. Jay Shetty encourages us to swap our negative thoughts about ourselves or others with positive thoughts. And he says it helps us to become more empathetic and compassionate. He speaks about his spiritual teacher, Radhanath Swami, who's the author of several books, including a book called The Journey Home. And he asks the Swami how he manages to stay peaceful and be a positive force in the world with all the negativity going on. And here's what the Swami said: there is toxicity all around us, everywhere, in the environment, in the political atmosphere, everywhere. But the origin is in people's hearts. Unless we clean the ecology of our own heart and inspire others to do the same, we will be an instrument of polluting the environment. But if we create purity in our own heart, then we can contribute great purity to the world around us. I love that message. I also think if we embrace the serenity prayer, simple as it is, then we begin to understand the greatest value it offers. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I have a little one I've always carried with me that my mother gave me probably 30 years ago. We cannot control what other people do or say, but we can demonstrate that compassion to each other and see each other's light. In Buddhism, there's a term called mudita, and it's the principle of experiencing immeasurable joy in the good fortune of others. In developing mudita, we begin to appreciate others as the complex and divine beings that they are, and we see the light in them. Robert Thurman, a Tibetan Buddhist and author of Wisdom is Bliss, explains that mudita allows us to see the joy in others. He explains that doing so is beneficial to ourselves, to our own well-being, and to the collective well-being of all people. He says love and compassion are essential emotions for the good life of individuals and also indispensable for the smooth working of societies, from the family to the community, the nation, and the world. Reading something else, I found this from the Dalai Lama. He believes that each of us has a responsibility to develop a happier world. And he says we need ultimately to have a greater concern for other people's well-being. In other words, kindness or compassion, which is lacking now. We must pay more attention to our inner values. We must look within ourselves. Again, back to the purity of the heart. He too speaks about mudita and the importance of experiencing joy as a result of what brings others positive human experiences and makes their lives satisfying. So here's my next challenge for us. While we're working on not complaining, perhaps we could also work on identifying how frequently we are consciously and intentionally relishing in the joy of other people. How much time are we spending being joyful for other people? Let's try to make it a priority to look for the divine light in everyone, and to fan the flames to help them keep their light shining, not be the wind that blows it out with our 2 cents. And then let's see how much happiness and positivity that our actions start to bring, not only to us, but to everyone else around us. And ultimately, I want you to remember how I started today with what Brené Brown said. Nothing that celebrates the humiliation or pain of another person builds lasting connection. Here's our takeaways for today, which, by the way, are always in the bulletin. Monitor our destructive emotions. Become aware of the source of feelings. Where are they coming from? Number 2, change the way we communicate. Reframe those negative statements for positive impact. Number 3, be mindful of what we cannot control. Acceptance and compassion are useful practices. Number 4, purify our heart and mind. Look for the good in everyone. Our affirmation today is, I celebrate the light in others. Let's say that together. I celebrate the light in others. And our quote for today is from the Dalai Lama. If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. Let's take that in. So we pause now to acknowledge the importance of seeing each other's light, remembering that commonality, finding ways to keep the flame burning, to gently cup our hands around that flame, protecting all noise and wind from letting the light go. We give thanks for our divinity and for each other and the gift of our humanity. Amen. Thank you to our prayer chaplains. Mary's situation is a perfect example of how important it is to pray. Knowing that you felt our prayers, knowing, Lewis, that you also knew you were being supported is important to us. And so if you have a prayer need and we don't know about it, we can't pray for you. So just put your prayer in the box on the back and the left when you walk out, or call the prayer line, call the church, send an email. We'll take care of supporting you in any way we can. Also, our giving affirmation. I just want to say thank you for all you do to support us and to make it possible. I don't know if you noticed, but our tree was gone. Did you notice our big tree gone? Well, that took a lot of money. That was a huge tree. It probably took the center of the base was the center of the stage. It was dead, and we had to get it down before the new building arrives. And fortunately, we got it down before the hurricane, if it comes, which I think was monumental, just in case. I also just want to say this before I forget. If you are in any need, we don't know what this week will bring, but if you're in any need, you need any help, please just go on our Facebook page, on the community page, if you can, if you have internet, and put a message there. If you still have phone, then call. You have somebody's number here or the church's number, call. But let us know. And if you know somebody who needs help, then do your part to help our community. So one person doesn't have to call everybody, okay? So let's just be responsible for each other and protect our community. Email, yes. You can email the church if you have internet or your phone. Send a text. All right, let's say our affirmation together. We have faith in God as our instant, constant, abundant supply and supplier. We have faith in God to open ways when to the human sense there is no way. We have faith in God to guide us in all our ways, and our health, happiness, and prosperity are assured. Thank you, God, for your abundant good, now flowing forth to meet our every need. Amen. And with joy, I want to thank Michael for letting us have his song today. It's perfect for today. The light is always on.
The light is always on. The light is All right, thanks everyone. Again, thanks to Michael for that song. We're going to stand and sing the peace song. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. If God has creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me.
So now we're going to say the prayer of protection, but I want you to really think about the first line. Are you ready? The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is great. God bless you all this week. Stay safe, and thank you for being here today. Join us in Fellowship Hall if you have time.
Were we doing an intro? Or no? Okay. Okay.
Thank